Okay. How does this Ice Blue 3? Currently, it is still May the 21st, 2026. It's 10:38 p.m. So I just got through watching the Candace Owens slash Hunter Biden interview, and so I did I did catch a few things inside this interview. Um, Now, but I do want to go over a few things that's happened inside of the past. They may be relevant to this interview or not, or the astrology, but I just want to go over it. But let me just go over what my thoughts on this interview. Now, I've already said that something was supposed to happen around this time. This is tea and honey, and I know I shouldn't be drinking this right now because tea makes me sleepy. But anyway, the point in regards to the video, I did say that the astrology that was going on, something bad happens for the Democrats, and something good happens for the Republicans. Um, and of course we just had the primaries, I believe, on the 19th in Alabama, and then now it's the 21st, and Candace Owens, she did an interview with Hunter Biden. Now the last time that somebody did a major interview with a major a major Republican did a major interview with a major Democrat was not the last time, but the one that stood out to me the most was Sean Ryan. He interviewed Gavin Newsom on July the 14th, 2025. Keep in mind, this is one day after the 1 year anniversary of Donald Trump almost getting assassinated. Because you know that Donald Trump was almost assassinated on the date of July the 13th, 2024. And so a year later, on July the 13th, 2025, a day later, on July the 14th, that's when Sean Ryan interviewed Gavin Newsom, because I think on July the 5th, that's when the DOJ, they came out with the memo saying that Epstein did in fact kill himself, and that Epstein did not have a client list. And so that pissed off a lot of Republicans. And so on the 16th of July, 2025, that's when Donald Trump, he came out and said that this whole Epstein situation was a hoax. So let me pull that True Social post up real quick. So let me pause for a second. That's got screenshots because the Wi-Fi here sucks. But let me pause. Okay, so this is a very, very long True Social post, but let's see here. Where does it say hoax? So around here, so this post was made on, I think, July the 16th, 2025. The timestamp is here, I think, right? Oops. Hopefully no pornos pop up or whatever. And he said it's a hoax right about, he says, ugh. So he says okay, so I had to flip over a little bit. So, oops. Oh no, okay, because you might see a porno or whatever. So let me just, because after I did that video talking about cash and tell or whatever, it's like I don't trust these phones anymore. They'll probably hack my phones. And so Donald Trump, he says in his True Social post that they're referencing the Democrats' new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past supporters have bought into this bullshit hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years. So this post was made I think 2 days after Sean Ryan did the interview with Gavin Newsom. And so again, Donald Trump was almost assassinated on July the 13th, 2024. I'm working off screenshots because yeah. And Sean Ryan, he interviewed Gavin Newsom on July the 14th, 2025. Okay, so that's that. So maybe Donald Trump has something planned for the date, or around the date of July the 13th, 2025. But he changed his mind because of a very, very prominent Republican, Sean Ryan, who interviewed Donald Trump one before Donald Trump won elections. Um, but also the weird thing is that if Donald Trump did have anything on these Democrats or whatever, um, why did he interview Jesus Christ, Ghislaine Maxwell? I think around like later on that month, right? I think he interviewed her on the 20th. Well, the FBI interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell on the 25th of July. But not only that, they did not get a testimony from Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton at that point in time yet. So that's interesting, and so I think they announced that they was gonna subpoena these head Democratic people, and they was gonna be doing depositions all the way until October the 11th or 14th. Yeah, until October the 14th, 2025. And crazy enough, October 14th was Charlie Kirk's birthday, and George Floyd's birthday as well. So it's something to consider. All the while during that period of time, Bill Clinton was going through I believe on July the 5th, 2025. That's when his progressed moon made an opposition to his natal ascendant. And the last time this happened was on January the 26th, 1998. That was the date that he claimed to not have had sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky. And days before that, I think the video game Resident Evil 2 came out on January 19th, 1998. And if you don't know about Resident Evil, I'm sorry, but that's besides the point right now. But my point in regards to the current times is that Bill Clinton was deposed and had his deposition on February the 27th, 2026, and Resident Evil 9 was released on the same day. Just looking at patterns. So that's that. So I was talking about the Hunter Biden interview and going over like some things that tend to line up when these major Republican figures they interview these major prominent Democrats or whatever. So let me see here. There's a couple more interviews. So that was Gavin Newsom. I think that so Sean Ryan interviewed Gavin Newsom again on July the 14th, 2025, and days later Donald Trump said that this whole Epstein situation was a hoax. So moving on. And then so Donald Trump said it was a hoax on the 16th of July 2025. So that's when I coined the phrase. This isn't the post that I made on July the 20th. This is the more recent one that I made on, I believe, on November the 1st, 2025. But I said, let the history book / devices always and forever say, 1 year and 3 days after Donald Trump should have died by assassination, he came back, and on the third day, like Jesus, pissed in the faces of his enemies, called it rain, and then he destroyed them. And then he lived happily ever after. The end. P.S. I did say biblical. Signed astrologer Ice Blue 333, the god of astrology. Now, when I first made this post on July the 20th, 2025, I just left it at biblical. But the updated one with the judgment card posted, I said P.S. I did say biblical. So moving on. So I think that do not tell me that I have this. So I think that on December the 22nd, 2025, right? Yeah, so on December 22nd, 2025, that's when Sean Ryan, he interviewed Hunter Biden. So the title of the video is called Hunter Biden, one of the most controversial figures in America. So far it's had 1,186,000 views, 944. Anyway, just what am I reading this for? Because I'm talking and like, yeah. So this happened on December 22nd, 2025. Now, days later, on December 25th, 2025, Donald Trump made a very, very cryptic post. And let me see if I can pull it up real quick while I'm recording. So on Christmas Day, Donald Trump posted this. Now I'll show you the date first. So the time is December 25th, 2025 at 5:51 p.m. This is just the time. I'm just trying to show you the timestamp. Wherever it's at. Where is it? Okay, so the timestamp's right here. This is on True Social. So I'll go back to the top. Ooh. Okay, so here's the top right here. If you want to pause it and read it, you can. And now I'm just gonna, because I'm going through screenshots right here. Oops. You want to pause it and read it, you can. I wish I could just I wish I had a computer system to make it easier for both of us, but it is what it is. My objective is just trying to get a video made. I don't feel like doing this shit right now, but it's like, yeah. Anyway, so I'll read this entire post because it's like, yeah, it's kind of funny to me. Anyway, so on Christmas Day, Donald Trump says, "Merry Christmas to all, including the many sleazebags who loved Jeffrey Epstein, gave him bundles of money, went to his island, attended his parties, and thought he was the greatest guy on earth, only to drop him like a dog when things got too hot. Falsely claimed that they had nothing to do with him, didn't know him, said he was a disgusting person, and blamed, of course, President Donald J. Trump, who was actually the only one who did drop Epstein, and long before it became fashionable to do so. When their names get brought out in the ongoing radical left witch hunt, plus one low-life Republican, Massey, Massey just lost his campaign or whatever. This is posted on December 25th, 2025. So, when their names get brought out in the ongoing radical left witch hunt, plus one low-life Republican, Massey, and it is revealed that they are Democrats all, there will be a lot of explaining to do. Much like there was when it was made public that the Russia hoax was a fictitious story, a total scam, and had nothing to do with Trump. The failing New York Times, among many others, was forced to apologize for their bad and faulty election reporting. Even to the point of losing many subscribers due to their highly inaccurate fake coverage. Now the same losers are at it again, only this time so many of their friends, mostly innocent, will be badly hurt and reputationally tarnished. But sadly, that's the way it is in the world of corrupt Democrat politics. Enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas. President Donald J. Trump. You can look this up. And so Donald Trump mentioned Massey, who lost his I think his primaries, all the way back then. It's May now. So that happened 3 days after. Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick again, because I'm working on screenshots. I'm broke as fuck. I'm working on a broken phone, which with the screen don't really work for real. See this? You see this? I gotta use this pen to do it to make it work. But because I dropped a hammer on it. But anyway, it's the wrong one. So yeah, Sean Ryan interviewed Hunter Biden on December 22nd, 2025, and days later, Trump made that post. So I'm like, I don't know. See, me, I didn't see my. I'm gonna say I'm innocent. I want claim to be innocent. My innocent ass thought that Donald Trump was like a sweet old guy, a nice guy, like, and he probably is. But from what his ex-wife reported said about him, she said, you don't go up against Donald Trump. You don't do that. Omarosa. Omarosa. She said that she knows how Donald Trump works and he would try to break you. You know that song I've been singing? You'll never know what hit you by Digital Daggers. It's called The Devil Within. Keep in mind, Donald Trump's a fucking Gemini. You might see things on the surface being one way, and behind the scenes, this dude got a whole nother fucking life or situation going on. And then when you find it, you're like, oh my god. You think Scorpios have secrets? Gemini's got a whole goddamn a whole nother situation going on. And then looking at Donald Trump's chart, he was born under an eclipse. And so his chart, it basically says that he will destroy his hidden enemy's belief systems. Everything that you thought was one way could just get destroyed. Everything that you thought and believed eclipsed. And so that's why I'm looking, I'm like, I see in the future, these Democrats might try to come after me talking about some, you said somebody says, I tried to warn everybody. I tried to warn Hillary Clinton. Tried to warn everybody. I said this astrology looks crazy. And like, I don't know what the hell going on. But anyway. I tried to warn y'all bitches. And the synchronicities are crazy. For Candace Owens to be, she's not prominent yet, but it might become a big deal because of what Hunter Biden said during this interview with Candace Owens. Because, like I said, that Christmas tweet that Donald Trump, he specifically said this Russia hoax, right? I want to get to the point real quick. I mean, this video it's been like 17 minutes, but I want to get to this point like right now. Inside of this interview with Hunter Biden, I think the timestamp was 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 20 seconds, right? Let me pause a second to double check. Because Hunter Biden mentioned Don Jr. and talking about that he got $600 billion or $600 million in regards to some company or whatever. And I guess he was trying to, he in my opinion, I'm paraphrasing, and this is my opinion, he in my opinion was comparing Don Jr. to whatever was going on with him in Ukraine. And yeah, in my opinion, I won't say it's this. I was looking on Truth Social the other day. And so I saw Donald Trump, he posted a picture of some cards inside of his hands. And I think it was like 6 wild cards with multiple colors. And I think it was captioned, "The cards are in my hands." So let me double check to see if this is timestamp. I want to try to paraphrase the best way I can. This man should not have mentioned Don Jr.'s name. I'm just saying. Like when I saw the astrology, when I look at the astrology, all the way back when I saw the astrology, all the way back on August 27, 2025, days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Don Jr. was affected the most. Looking at the astrology. So, and I think that Charlie Kirk was probably Don Jr.'s business partner. Looking at the astrology, because it showed that his partner he's gonna like lose a partner, or have an emotional block, or have something taken away from him in regards to a partner, and it was Charlie Kirk. So out of all the people, Hunter Biden should not have mentioned Donald Trump Jr.'s fucking name. Just saying. I don't know what was going on behind the scenes with Don Jr. and Charlie Kirk. And then Donald Trump inside that True Social post talking about the Russia hoax and whatever. And then all the way back in 2020 or whatever, they was all talking about this Russia situation and quid pro quo. But you have a whole damn video of Joe Biden bragging, talking about he had fired an investigator who was investigating Hunter Biden's ties to this company or whatever in Ukraine. and basically I think Joe Biden, he said that if you don't, if I'm paraphrasing, if you don't get rid of that investigator or whatever, you're not going to get this money or whatever. I think it was like $1 billion or $2 billion, like that, some amount of money or whatever. I'm paraphrasing. I'm just you can go to YouTube and find a video. If that's not quid pro quo, then anyway. So I'm gonna pause this video. I'm gonna go back and listen. Go to this timestamp to double check and make sure that what I'm saying is the correct timestamp. But that's the gist of it. But let me pause for a second. Unpause. But Hunter Biden should not have mentioned fucking Donald Trump Jr.'s fucking name and compared himself. As a matter of fact, Hunter Biden, he said that he's probably read more books than Dunn Jr. and Eric. He said the Donald Trump boys, and I'm like, maybe these Democrats really do believe. Maybe these Democrats really do believe that Donald Trump is inside these Epstein files, and that's why they keep poking the bear. Okay. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully it works out for you. Let me pause and see it and double check this timestamp real quick. I tried to warn y'all bitches. Pause. You never knew what hit you. Won't see me closing in. I'm gonna make you suffer. This hell you put me in. I'm underneath your skin. The devil within. You never knew what hit you. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. This phone is moving too damn slow. Do 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 do. Okay, so I can't. I'll probably get a copyright strike if I play it. Wow. What the fuck is going on with this? Let me pause for a second. Yeah, pause. Okay, so the timestamp was 1 hour, 12 minutes and 40 seconds. That's where it starts. Well, I think Hunter Biden, he was comparing. He was saying that maybe that people were saying that he was like corrupt or something like that, and yeah, he compared himself to Trump Jr. or something like that. He said that I think Trump Jr. got one of the largest amounts of money from the Department of Defense or whatever. So anyway, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like I guess he was comparing himself to. Let me close out this before I hit the wrong button and I messed some shit up. So that happened. So let me pause a second to get to reorientate myself or whatever, because there's one more video where somebody interviewed a different person or whatever. And I need to find it real quick. So let me pause. Let me just press play. So I think that those are the only two interviews I could find, I could think of off the top of my head right now, where prominent Democratic Republicans interviewed very controversial Democratic figures and put them inside of a good light. Let me just get some tea or whatever. Some more tea. So, yeah, because this is just insane. Because I can only imagine. Because keep in mind that Donald Trump was impeached because of this Russia situation, I think, right? Well, he was. The impeachment it failed, but still, it's just insane what he had to go through. And more so, Charlie Kirk was assassinated due to the rhetoric from these Democrats or whatever. So it just makes you it's like I don't know how Donald Trump operates in regards to what happens when you piss him off. But being that looking at his track record of how he reacted to, in my opinion, Sean Ryan's interview of Gavin Newsom, and Sean Ryan's interview of Hunter Biden. Sean Ryan's interview of Gavin Newsom on July the 14th, 2005, which is one day after the 1 year anniversary of the date that Donald Trump was almost assassinated. And then also for Sean Ryan to interview Hunter Biden 3 days before Christmas. So, and so now Candace Owens interviewing Hunter Biden during an election period, I believe, right? Like during the primaries. But good thing it was like 1 day. It was posted 1 day after the primaries or whatever. But anyway, so I have some notes here. So let's see here. While I was looking up, was Martin Luther King a Republican? Was Martin Luther King a Republican? No, Martin Luther King Jr. was not a Republican. He maintained a strict political independence. He was an independent. He wasn't Democrat or Republican. Martin Luther King was independent and refused to formally affiliate with either party, and actively criticized both Democrats and Republicans for their shortcomings regarding civil rights. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna put back up looking at what I voted for. I didn't have a choice but to register as a Democrat and vote for Chad Chick Martin. I only voted for one person on this ballot, and that was Chad Chick Martin. Ain't that funny? Looking at Martin Luther King Jr. Anyway, so let's see here. I'm an independent, by the way. So let me get back to the point, because I was trying to make this a short video, and I don't have my storage on my phone. So let's see here. So we'll go down my notes real quick. I said Trump probably could be very, very petty, like petty. It's funny that Nicki Minaj, petty, has endorsed Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is being endorsed by Mrs. Petty. Anyway, something to laugh at. Because Nicki Minaj's marital name is her last name, her marital name is Petty. Anyway, let's see. So let's keep on scrolling through my notes or whatever. So Candace Owens, am I upset at Candace Owens? No, Candace Owens is not my favorite person at all. However, in this instance, I side with Candace Owens because pretty much I see that that this DOJ and the FBI or whatever, they really are, in my opinion, gaslighting people, because pretty much this whole situation is under investigation. In my opinion, this might be the biggest sting operation inside the United States history, or something big is going on. All I know is that Bill Clinton is going through the same astrology as the Monica Lewinsky scandal. It's even worse now because his progressed Uranus is conjunct his natal Uranus, so it's like shock. The last time I seen some kind of shock like this, shocking event like this, was the O.J. Simpson trial, and you saw how that played out. Just shock. Something shocking should have happened around October the 11th, 2025, but it's still inside of the process. And something shocking definitely what happened around August 9th, 2026. So, because that's when Bill Clinton's progressed moon will aspect that conjunction. Anyway, so looking at the astrology. And again, Donald Trump was born under an eclipse. He's a Gemini sun. And see, his moon is getting eclipsed, and his moon is inside of a very, very bad position. But his moon rules his hidden enemies, or people who are up against him, and it means that they get eclipsed. And not only that, their beliefs are destroyed. Whatever they believe is destroyed. So, looking at the astrology. So everything you believe about people calling him a pedophile and all this other stuff or whatever, and calling him names and all this other stuff, destroyed. However, for some reason, later on inside of the month of August or whatever, Donald Trump might have to go into survival mode. I don't know why, but yeah, because I think transit Sun will conjoin transit K2 inside of the sky, and it will conjoin his ascendant. So that's weird. Anyway, but that's in the future. For now, Bill Clinton's going through the same astrology as the Monica Lewinsky scandal. So let's see. So I'm moving on. Still looking. Oh, it's funny. Hunter Biden, he started talking about the laptop or whatever. He even said that it wasn't really a laptop. What timestamp was that? Let's see here. Mm-mm. Let me find this real quick. Let me pause for a second. As soon as I pause, I find it. So the timestamp was at 36 minutes, I believe. And Hunter Biden, he said that there was never a laptop. He said, I think he said it was a hard drive or hacked material or something. Just go to timestamp 36 minutes in. I'm so done with this situation. I'm more so interested inside the ramifications of this interview. So, and like I said, I don't blame Candace Owens because if it's like she's been gaslit and this is how she's gonna react. Charlie Kirk was her friend or whatever. And what do you think? What do you expect to happen? When shit just looks weird on the outside, but if you're on the inside, you'll get it that this is everything's under an investigation. Everything's being processed so that when they get these people, they're gonna be inside of so much fucking shit. It's not gonna be up to their fucking to their knees. It's not gonna be up to their waist. It's not gonna be up to their chest. It's not gonna be up to their neck. They're gonna be fucking hair follicle right here, and they're gonna be drowning inside of shit. You ain't gonna be able to get out of this shit. That's what they're trying to do. They're gonna be. So I'm saying I'm gonna sit here and sip my tea with a little honey. That song just came song. You'll never knew what hit you. Da 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 da. Won't see me closing in. I'm gonna make you suffer this hell you put me in. I'm underneath your skin, the devil within. You'll never knew what hit you. Digital Daggers, The Devil Within, came out in 2012. That's what keeps on coming. That's what keeps on popping inside my head. That song. Anyway, Bill Clinton on a date of June the 13th, 2026. He's going through the same astrology as his trial that happened all the way on January 7th, 1999. And see, June the 14th is Donald Trump's birthday. So Donald Trump's birthday present might be a mugshot of Bill Clinton. Because the Democrats, they got their mugshot of Donald Trump. And hell, who knows? Bill Clinton might end up getting fucking impeached again. Because they tried to impeach Donald Trump while he was out of office. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I forgot now. I'm like, look, so much shit has happened, and I'm burnt the fuck out, and I'm like, you know what? And to make shit even crazier is that at timestamp 48 minutes and 40 seconds into the Candace Owens Hunter Biden interview, Hunter Biden he lamented, or he talked about being tried or people trying to possibly try him for treason and being executed for whatever, I guess treason and whatever. He laments on that around timestamp 48 minutes and 40 seconds into the interview. And so the issue with that is if I think Hunter Biden, he said that we're just inside a different place where people are just mean. The issue is that Donald Trump did not start this witch hunt and this weaponization of politics where they wanted to lock up their political opponents. Keep in mind that people were begging to get a mugshot of Donald Trump, and they got that mugshot. Also keep in mind that even though the people who supported Trump were screaming, yes, lock Hillary Clinton up or whatever, Donald Trump, he said, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna keep it cute. And then when it came his turn or whatever to try to live his civil life or whatever, they got their mugshot or whatever. He was almost assassinated. They called him Hitler. So much stuff has happened. I forgot. It's so much stuff. And so it wasn't the Republicans that started this being tried for treason and being executed or etc. Again, go to timestamp 48 minutes and 40 seconds to the video and just listen to what he says. So, anyways, listen to what Hunter Biden says. Because I'm paraphrasing. I'm so tired. I'm burnt the fuck out on this entire shit. But it is what it is. And so, looking at the astrology, Donald Trump, he might be like, I'm gonna cut the head off the snake and make it so that this really can never happen again. But how people react to it, we'll see. Because like I said, in the month of August, something very, very shocking happens in regards to Bill Clinton. However, towards the 22nd of August, 2026, Donald Trump has to go into survival mode, I think. And then also, for some reason, on November the 19th, 2026, for some reason, Donald Trump, this is around the election times or whatever, Donald Trump is not going to be, is going to be depressed or be an emotional block around that time. However, around March 2027, Donald Trump and his circle should get lucky for some reason. However, looking at my chart, it shows that something bad happens in regards to my career or whatever. So I'm not gonna hold myself to that, but it's to that prediction. I'm just saying that Donald Trump and his circle should get lucky around the time of March 2027. It's a violent event towards my career though. Maybe what I say is right, but it pisses off a lot of people. Or maybe I'm wrong and it pisses off a lot of people. I don't know. But anyway, that's March 2027. All I know is that Donald Trump's circle is going to get lucky around the time, March 2027. That's all I know. And for some reason, people are going to be, either people are going to be upset about my prediction in regards to that, or I might be wrong. Anyway. So moving on. Also, just I'm thinking about still what Hunter Biden said about people are just mean, and they're trying for treason and all those stuff or whatever. And what the thing about it is that, like I said, Democrats tried to do this to the Republicans. They brought a RICO case up against Donald Trump and the people that supported him, and so their rhetoric, in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinions, it led to the death of Charlie Kirk. It was the Democrats who did that, not the Republicans. And so when the Republicans try to do it back, or when the Republicans are in power, now you're like, oh my God. Well, what you said, it's not so fun when a rabbit has a gun. I'm not just like laughing, hee ha. I'm like, no. I'm like, this is. Anyway, see, I sip my tea. I don't want to use the word karma, but this is just. Anyway, moving on. I got right here. So at timestamp 54 minutes and 54 seconds into the interview or whatever, Hunter Biden, he said, and I quote, I think, anyway, he said, let's be honest. But then he came back and said, not let's be honest. He said, I hate that phrase. That's like a meme into itself or whatever. Basically, he's like saying that I don't like to be honest, in my opinion. Or anyway, just go to timestamp 54 minutes and 54 seconds to the Candace Owen / Hunter Biden interview. This is probably for myself to go back and rewatch anyway. So at timestamp 1 hour, 1 minute and 40 seconds into the interview, I think Hunter Biden, he says that he's against the criticism of people criticizing Candace Owens for questioning about what happened to Charlie Kirk. However, the obvious answer in regards to what happened to Charlie Kirk was that the rhetoric coming from the Democrats led and the propaganda that was being pushed or whatever in regards to saying that Republicans and Donald Trump are not Nazis or something like that, and Trump is like Hitler or something like that. That led to the death of Charlie Kirk. As a matter of fact, there are some people saying that Charlie Kirk's funeral was a Nazi rally. Looked like a Nazi rally. And a lot of people celebrated the death of a preacher. And I've already went over all that, saying that all these signs inside the sky. As a matter of fact, Charlie Kirk was killed around the time of an eclipse. And all the while, a man who claimed to be a prophet said that the rapture was supposed to happen around the date of Charlie Kirk's funeral, which was September 20. Charlie Kirk's funeral was on September the 21st, 2025. However, this man, his name is Mr. Joshua, he said that the rapture was supposed to happen on September 23rd or 24th, 2025. He made this prediction all the way back before Charlie Kirk was even assassinated. I mean, he made this prediction all the way back in, I think, June of 2025. So, not to mention, I'm talking about celestial events going across the sky or whatever. Not to forget that all the way back in 2017, there was an eclipse inside the United States that where the sky turned dark or whatever. Also, there was a solar eclipse inside of in the year of 2024, where the sky turned dark inside the United States, which is rare. And also, I think around 2017, around the time of the 2017 eclipse or whatever, there was the Revelation 12 sign that was shown inside the sky as well, talking about the rapture or whatever. And people celebrating the death of a preacher, Charlie Kirk. But anyway, in my opinion, the rhetoric of the Democrats was the reason why Charlie Kirk ended up getting assassinated. So let's see here. Please tell me I'm almost done. And again, at time step 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 54 seconds, Hunter Biden, he mentioned Donald Trump Jr. and him like getting what, $600 million, or whatever, a situation where I think the Department of Defense or whatever, they gave him $600 million, whatever, to do something with it or whatever in regards to a company or whatever, and he compared I think Don Jr. to himself or whatever, whatever. In my opinion, my thing is that he should not have ever mentioned Donald Trump Jr.'s name, because I'm looking at the astrology. I'll leave it at that. Let's see here. So moving on. And yeah, it's a reminder of the Russia hoax or whatever that was pushed on them. It was pushed by the Democrats and pushed throughout Donald Trump's full first term. And then also Donald Trump was impeached for a phone call he had with Ukraine, and yet Joe Biden, he basically said that he would not give Ukraine, what was it, $1 million or $1 billion or $500 million? I forgot now. But he would not give Ukraine that money until they fired the prosecutor that was investigating Hunter Biden or whatever, and his ties to a company or whatever in Ukraine or whatever. Paraphrasing. So there's, in my opinion, that's quick quote pro right there. Whatever. The Russia hoax or whatever. In so many words and in a paraphrase. This phone does not work or whatever. So let's see here. Sorry for the wait, but yeah. Please tell me almost done. There's all this stuff. Okay. I'm just... Okay. So I think I already said this, but at timestamp 1 hour and 24 minutes into the interview, Hunter Biden, he said that he's more read up on books than the Trump boys, or I think he means Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. I think Hunter Biden says that he's read more books than the Donald Trump's boys, and also I think he said he was more qualified to run a company than the Donald Trump's children or whatever, or the Dunn boys or whatever, how you call them. Let's see here. At timestamp 1 hour and 40 minutes into the interview, Hunter says that he believes in the illusion of America. However, it was the Democrats that seemingly destroyed this illusion, or the American dream, whatever. Not the Republicans. What happened to Charlie Kirk was due to the rhetoric that these Democrats spewed out in regards to how there was how they it was politics and them trying to character assassinate Donald Trump. At one point, they even banned Donald Trump off of all social media platforms, and pretty much that's the best way to try to just to destroy somebody is to get them off these platforms and then talk all the shit about them. Why they can't say anything else, say anything to defend themselves? Because Donald Trump he couldn't say anything because he was under court order. He was gagged. He was being gagged by a court order. So while these Democrats were vilifying Donald Trump, and he couldn't say anything due to a gag order or whatever, that's what created this entire situation. It was the Democrats that did that, not the Republicans. So if you can say that anybody destroyed the American dream or the illusion of the American dream, it was the Democrats, not the Republicans. Anyway, so moving on. I've already said that. Oh, thank God, that's the last point that I was trying to make. So what terrifies me is that I've never seen Donald Trump get somebody back. Never seen it. So what terrifies me is that pretty much Eric Swalwell or Eric Fartswell or whatever. In my opinion, anyway, Eric Swalwell. Let me get serious. Because this is a long video. So I think Pam Bundy, she ended up getting replaced or demoted in a lot of people's opinions, or reportedly, or fired by Donald Trump when it came to light that she gave Eric Swalwell, she tipped him off in regards to what was coming down the pipe in regards to him, because reportedly through a news outlet or whatever that Pam Bundy and Eric Swalwell were friends, reportedly or allegedly. I don't know. That's just a rumor or whatever. So as soon as that news came out, additional news came that Pam Bundy, she tipped Eric Swalwell off. It's like the shit came down the pipe and it just took him out. It's like Donald Trump, he already had his finger on the pressure switch to get rid of him the entire time. And so it's so funny how he just got rid of Eric Swalwell just like that. So imagine what this man is capable of. I'm just saying. So I've never seen Donald Trump do some serious get back. That's what I'm looking at Bill Clinton. He's going through the same astrology as the Monica Lewinsky scandal. And so I don't think Donald Trump has ever fired a president before or an ex-president before. Imagine Donald Trump saying you're fired to Bill Clinton. Or maybe an impeachment situation going on or whatever. So is that the entire note? Yeah. So who knows? Donald Trump probably has a pressure switch on all of his enemies. He's probably did enough research and got all the information. Like I said, he posted a picture of him holding some wild cards inside of his hand, saying, "I hold all the cards. Do with that what you will." He's already. You saw how fast he got rid of. You saw how fast Eric Swalwell got gone. Tom Macy, whatever this is, I need to get his full name, but Macy, you saw how quick he got gone. And keep in mind, Donald Trump said this all the way back on December the 25th, 2025. And he probably said it even before that. But I'm like, that's the one that stood out to me. He said what, and he said, let me pull this up real quick again. So I'm at the end of my notes. He said, "Enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas, President Donald J. Trump, on December 25th, 2025. And what did he say about Massey? He called him a low-life Republican, Massey, in reference to Epstein. Why? Only the FBI or the DOJ knows. So I think that's it for my notes or whatever. I think I'll go down the astrology because I think I need to talk about Tucker Carlson. So let me pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Some more tea. Probably looks messed up, but whatever. It is what it is. We'll be drinking alcohol right now. I'm broke, so I said I'll just recoup or whatever and just drink some tea. What time is it now? 11:39 p.m. A little honey. Oh man. My point. I was talking about Tucker Carlson. I had to hurry because his phone might run out of storage. So let me see here. Had to get back on Wi-Fi, but it might not work. Let's see here. Let me pause a second because the Wi-Fi is acting up again. Pause. Okay, so I'm back. I had to just switch phones, whatever. Because anyway, point. So I'm going on the astrology real quick. So on May the 10th, 2026, for Barron Trump, his progressed moon made a semi-sextile to his progressed Saturn, and that should have been a blocking, emotional blocking date for him. So let's see here. So on May the 14th, 2026, for Tucker Carlson, his progressed moon made a square to his progressed Jupiter. He should have got lucky this day. So on May the 16th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Venus made a conjunction to his progressed Mars. It's a fated, angry event for him and his social circles. Maybe Candace Owens and Hunter Biden had this interview on this day, and it may lead to some shit later on in the future. We will see. So on May the 17th, 2026, for Tucker Carlson, his progressed moon made a semi-sextile to his natal moon. That means it's a completion of something. So let's see here. On May the 17th, 2026, for Donald Trump, his progressed moon made a square to his progressed Mercury. That means he heard some news about something, and apparently maybe it was the Candace Owens interview. So moving on. So on May the 17th, 2026, for Barron Trump, his progressed moon made a semi-sextile to his natal Saturn. So it's a depressing, emotional day for him. So maybe this interview caused Barron Trump some a sense of depression. Who knows? Or maybe it was something else. I don't know. Moving on. So all those that on that day he should have been depressed about something, and on these days, it may not apply to a specific person or thing. It's just that these people are gonna feel that emotion that day or around that day, 6 days before, 6 days after. So anyway, so moving on. So on May the 20th, 2026, for JD, blah, 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 blah. So on May the 20th, 2026, for JD Vance, his progressed moon made a trine to his natal Venus. That could have been like a social event for him and his partners, like that. Or yeah. Moving on. So on May the 22nd, 2026, for Chelsea Clinton, her progressed Saturn will quincunx her natal Venus. That means that it's a karmic bad event for her and her social circles. Is like a restriction in regards to her partners and socialites or whatever. So moving on. So on May the 24th, 2026, for Barron Trump, his progressed moon was semi-sextile his natal nodes. It's a fated event. So on May the 21st through the 25th, 2026, and progressed Venus moves slow, so it can last like for about 2 months. But around this date of the 21st through the 25th of May 2026, for Donald Trump, his progressed Venus will conjoin his progressed Jupiter. It's a fated lucky event for him and his social circles. So let me go back a little bit and go to the rest of this astrology. So on May the 27th, 2026, for Gavin Newsom, his progressed moon will semi-sextile his natal Saturn. It's a emotional block or a loss of something. So on the same day of May the 27th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Mercury will sextile his natal Mars. It's fated, angering news. He may hear something that's angering, or something in the news may turn out to be very, very bad. Because Mercury rules communications and news. Just like Donald Trump, he probably heard something around May the 17th, 2026, and pretty much, yeah, he may have had to react to that. So moving on, to that news, which may have been a Candace Owens interview, or maybe it was something else. I don't know. So moving on, so Tucker Carlson, which is the reason why I'm going down this astrology. So on May the 28th, 2026, for Tucker Carlson, his progressed moon will square his natal Uranus. And you know that Tucker Carlson so far has been going back and forth with Donald Trump. So when your progressed moon makes a square to your Uranus, either progressed or natal, it's shocking. It's a shocking event, and it's bad, usually. So a bad, shocking event. And so maybe it may come out this Epstein situation in regards to Donald Trump. Maybe he was wrong the entire time. But who knows? It could be anything. Something bad and shocking. I think and then so that's May the 28th, 2026. So on June the 2nd, 2026, for Hunter Biden, his progressed moon will make an opposition to his progressed descendant. And see, I'm not very, very good with a person's progressed descendant being aspected. However, for Bill Clinton, when his progressed descendant was aspected, that happened, I believe, on November the 13th, 2025. And that's when the government came back open. And that's when when Congress, they voted on the Epstein Transparency Act, which should have led to the release of all the Jeffrey Epstein files or whatever. However, I think due to things still being under investigation, that's the reason, in my opinion, why all the files have not been released yet. Because by law, that if it's under investigation, it can't be released because it's a criminal investigation, in my opinion. So we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. So referencing Hunter Biden, well, also for Bill Clinton, his natal ascendant was so okay. So again, so for Bill Clinton, his progressive ascendant was aspected by his progressed moon on November 13th, 2025. Now, this previously happened all the way back on what was it, December the 26th, 1998. Let me pause for a second to get that. Pause. Okay, so I'm back. So on, again, I think November 13th, 2025, that's when Bill Clinton's progressive ascendant was aspected, and that led to the passing of that led to the government reopening. But not only that, the government passing the Epstein Transparency Act. So it happened previously, all the way back, I believe, on December 26th, 1998, and that was around the time of the beginning of Bill Clinton's impeachment, which began on December 19th, 1998. However, Bill Clinton's trial, it happened on January the 9th or the 7th, 1999. And that same astrology is going to happen again on June the 13th, 2026. Now, Bill Clinton's natal ascendant was aspected on, Jesus Christ, of course, July the 5th, 2025. And that's when the DOJ, they came out and said that Epstein did in fact kill himself, and he also did not have a client list. But it happened before on January 26th, 1998. And that's when Bill Clinton claimed to not have had sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky. That was when Bill Clinton's progressed moon made opposition to his natal ascendant. So those tend to be big dates. So that's that. So moving on. So not moving on, but so back to Hunter Biden. So on June the 2nd, 2026, his progressed moon will make opposition to his progressed ascendant. And so who knows? Maybe he may have lied inside his interview, or maybe something could come out where something people who look at him or whatever, they may get like some kind of emotional reaction in regards to him or something like that. Who knows? So now moving on. So on June the 4th, 2026 for Jennifer Flowers. Her progressed moon will make a quincunx to her progressed Saturn. It's a depressing event for her. So, or an emotional block for her. So moving on. So on June the 4th, 2026 for Ghislaine Maxwell, her progressed Mars will conjoin her natal K2. She needs to be very, very careful around this date because it could deal with possible assassination attempts or something bad. See, Mars and K2 are both malefics, but I don't know how things play out inside of real life. It could just mean that a very, very, very bad event happens that's violent and angering, and it's like a fated event because it's conjunct the nodes, not just K2 but Rahu too. It's conjunct K2, but it's opposite Rahu, so it's a fated, angering event. Right. So moving on. So that's June the 4th, 2026 for Ghislaine Maxwell, if her birth time is correct in regards to how I have it in the computer. Moving on. So on June the 8th, 2026 for Tucker Carlson, his progressed moon will make a square to his progressed Uranus. That's a bad, shocking event. So this whole period of time from like right now, today, May the 21st, it's 11:57 now. So let's just say it's May the 22nd. It's my granddad's. It's my granddad's birthday. My granddad was born on May the 22nd. Forgot what year. So that's interesting. This whole situation in regards to me learning astrology began because my grandfather, he passed away all the way back in 2012. Crazily enough. So his birthday is in about 2 minutes. Interesting. Who knows this video might blow up or whatever. Even though I butchered this a lot of stuff or whatever. So it is what it is. Happy birthday, granddad. So again, on June the 8th, 2026 for Tucker Carlson, his progressed moon will make a square to his progressed Uranus. It's a bad, shocking event for him. So maybe everything that people have been saying about Donald Trump being involved with Epstein, they may be very, 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 very wrong, proven very, 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 very wrong. And it shocks the hell out of everybody, and it's crazy. Crazy. And see, the World Cup was supposed to start on June 11th, 2026. But there's a man, his name is Mr. Joshua. He said that there would not be a World Cup in 2026. He said that the rapture or something like that would happen. But who knows? I'm just something like, he said business will not be as usual. And we would not have the World Cup on June the 11th, 2026. So moving on. So on June the 12th, 2026 for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will make a sextile to her progressed Jupiter. She gets lucky this day for some reason. So moving on to the big date, which is June the 13th, 2026 for Bill Clinton. His progressed moon will make an opposition to his natal Chiron. The last time this happened was the beginning of the trial in regards to Bill Clinton's 1998 impeachment in relations to the Monica Lewinsky scandal. And this happened on January 7th, 1999. This astrology was shown on the date of January 4th, 1999. And see, this is interesting because a day later, on June the 14th, 2026 for Donald Trump, that's his 80th birthday, and it's also Flag Day. And see, the last time that we had, last June, I think 2025, there was Flag Day, and Donald Trump held this huge military parade. So this time that who knows, his birthday present might be a mugshot of Bill Clinton. I don't know. Just like the Democrats got their mugshot all the way back in 2024. Anyway, so who knows? Donald Trump, he might give this black man $13 million, a 13-ounce solid gold medal, and so on. I'll go down my list in a minute. I'm already at 1 hour and 4 minutes. I need to hurry up. Okay, let me go ahead and keep moving. So that's June the 14th, 2026. Bill Clinton's going through the same astrology as his trial around the same date as Donald Trump's birthday. Moving on, so on June the 29th, 2026 for Pete Hegseth, his progressed moon will make a square to his natal Jupiter. It's a lucky event for him. So moving on, so on July the 4th, 2026 for general population, the entire world. Transit Mars in the sky will conjoin transit Uranus in the side of the sky, and it's a possible angering violent event, or a terror attack, or violent justice. Maybe it's Trump getting his revenge. Who knows? So moving on. So on July 11th, 2026, for Ghislaine Maxwell, her progressive sun was semi-sextile her natal Jupiter. Who knows? She might get a part in this day. It's a major boost to your ego, and it's like lucky. She might get a pardon from Donald Trump or whatever on this day. We will see. So moving on. So on July the 13th, 2026, for Trump Jr., his progressed moon make a square to his progressed nodes. It's a fated event. Moving on. So on July the 15th, 2026, for Donald Trump, his progressed Venus will square his natal Venus, and there's going to be a major focus on his social circles and his career. Moving on. So on July the 20th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon will quincunx his natal moon, and the last time this happened was the conclusion of Bill Clinton's 1998/1999 impeachment. And the last time this happened was on February the 9th, 1999. And that was the end of his impeachment. So moving on, so on the date of July the 21st, 2026, for Chelsea Clinton, her progressed sun will quincunx her natal Saturn. It's a very bad event regarding her ego and loss of status. So she loses like major status around this date, July the 21st, 2026, while Bill Clinton is going through the conclusion of whatever's going on inside of his life or whatever's going on in regards to the scandal or whatever. So moving on, so on July the 21st, 2026, for Tucker Carlson, his progressed moon will quincunx his progressed Mars, and it's a bad angering event for him. So moving on, so on July the 23rd, 2026, for Donald Trump, his progressed moon will enter the sign of Sagittarius. Oh shit. Donald Trump's natal moon rules his 12th house of hidden enemies. So with his progressed moon entering the sign of Sagittarius, the sign of beliefs or whatever, that could mean that his hidden enemies, their beliefs, and whatever they believed about him, is changed or maybe destroyed. Who knows? We will see. But Sagittarius does rule beliefs, and in his chart, Donald Trump's chart, it says that his hidden enemies, their beliefs are destroyed. Whatever they believed is whatever. Moving on. That's interesting. So so moving on. So on July the 28th, 2026, for Tucker Carlson, his progressed moon was sextile his natal Saturn. It's a bad, depressing event for Tucker Carlson, or an emotional block. And moving on even further, so on August 9th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon was make a sextile to his progressed and natal Uranus. It's a major shocking event. It's like a double shock on one day. And see, maybe it may deal with Danny Williams Clinton, because all the way back, I believe, on October the 11th, 2025, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Uranus conjoined his natal Uranus. And I think a month later, that was when Danny Williams Clinton, who was a black man who claims to be Bill Clinton's black biological son, he wrote a book titled "The Forgotten Son." This black boy has been claimed to be Bill Clinton's black biological son for 41 years, I believe, or over 41 years. And the Democrats, they've ignored it or whatever. Obama, apparently, it's reported that Obama ignored it. Hillary Clinton ignored it, and several other prominent Democratic figures ignored this boy. So maybe that might be what it is. I don't know. We will see. I said the stars aligned. Two stars, like with the star report. And when you think of stars, you think about astrology. The stars aligned. So the star report was what led to Bill Clinton being impeached or whatever. And I got under that. P.S. I did say biblical. Sign astrologer Ice Blue 3, the god of astrology. I made this post on True Social on April the 3rd, 2026 at 1:46 a.m. So that's that. Let me pause for a second because I need to take a break. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. I think I was trying to talk about Tucker Carlson or whatever. Pretty much. Earlier today I was just looking at videos, trying to catch up on the news, and I was waiting for Candace Owens to drop this interview that she did with Hunter Biden or whatever. And pretty much I ran into a video where there was that from Forbes saying that Tucker Carlson, he mocked Trump's approval rating as the feud escalated. And look, I don't I don't blame Tucker Carlson nor Candace Owens about in regards to what this entire situation, because I understand that Charlie Kirk, he was assassinated, and they feel a certain kind of way, and they're being gaslit, in my opinion, by the FBI and the DOJ, and they're really not. I guess they don't understand that all this stuff is being investigated, and so it's taking time, and yeah, the best thing about it is that pretty much the Democrats, they actually believe that that they're scot free, and that everything's like they're going to use it to take down Donald Trump, and they're digging their own grave. So in the end, they're digging their own grave. However, for some reason, the astrology, like I said, the only reason why I know this is because I study astrology. All these other astrologers, they're talking about some, oh, Trump is in the Epstein files and this, and that. And either they just suck at astrology, or I'm just better. To my own horn. But some real shit's about to come down the fucking pipe. Bill Clinton's going through the same astrology as the Monica Lewinsky scandal. This is the reason. See, I could always say that. Ooh, I predicted Charlie Kirk's death or whatever, which I did. However, what's going on inside of Bill Clinton's chart is much bigger. That's why I'm not really going crazy, jumping up and down, saying, "Go watch this video where I predicted Charlie Kirk's death." Go to True Social and see where I predicted Charlie Kirk's death, and I predicted everything else. It's like 6 months later. That's nothing compared to what's about to happen in regards to Bill Clinton. Looking at the astrology, he's going through the same astrology as the Monica Lewinsky scandal. This is going to go down inside of history. It seems like nobody gives a shit about Charlie Kirk and his death, just the Democrats in general. But when their entire party is like fucked, I'm talking wrecked. Like you're gonna be walking differently for a while, buddy. Wheelchair. Anyway, and let it come out. Let it come out that Danny Williams / Clinton is Bill Clinton's black biological son that he neglected for over 40. Not just Bill Clinton, but the Democratic Party neglected for over 41 years, and yet they're all screaming Black Lives Matter. But you know what? They smoothed over so much other stuff, so they'll probably be able to smooth it over too. But will Hillary Clinton be the first? Will become the first female president after that? Anyway, if it came out to be true, Danny Williams / Clinton, I have a fuck ton of videos talking about that, and yeah, I'm just burnt out. And it's so weird, it's so crazy that Candace Owens could be the actual trigger for the situation. And I got a list talking about I got a list called it Candace Owens / Cardi B / Joe Biden wish list. I'm gonna go down this list real quick and I'm gonna call it quits, because it's like what? It's now 12:14 a.m. The 22nd of May. And I want to just sit back and see what the fuck happens, because I'm like, yeah, I know that Dan Bongino, he's definitely gonna watch Candace Owens' interview or whatever, and we'll see what comes up with that. So, but I do understand how Candace Owens feels. She does not have the eyes of a detective that's been on this situation for this long. So, man, been on this situation. Anyway, let me get to the list. I'm gonna call it a day. I need to get some sleep, even though I probably won't, because I'm drinking this tea. This tea has caffeine in it. So let's go. What's it called now? I think I want to talk about. I'm almost out of storage. I was gonna sit and talk about Bill Clinton's alleged black love child, Danny Williams Clinton. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say this is the full astrological lore, plus of Bill Clinton's alleged black love child. I've said it so many times, but I'm gonna do it again. So his name is Danny Williams / Clinton. He was born in anyway, Little Rock, Arkansas. Anyway, I want to stick to the script. So let's see here. So apparently Arkansas was a very, very racist state at one point in time. Arkansas seceded from the Union on May the 6th, 1861. Little Rock, the Little Rock Nine is an Arkansas event that happened on September 25th, 1957, and it was racial discrimination. And keep in mind that Arkansas was a state that Bill Clinton was a governor of at one point in time. So, 28 years after the Little Rock 9 Arkansas event that happened, where it was a major racial discrimination situation, where the people of Arkansas, they tried to block these nine black individuals from going to school in Little Rock, Arkansas. And so President D. Eisenhower, whatever, he had to invoke the Insurrection Act so that these individuals could go to school and get an education. These black individuals, mind you. So 28 years after the Little Rock, the Little Rock 9 Arkansas event and its happenings. So, and 28 years is a Saturn return of an event. So 28 years later, or in the year of 1985, that was the year of Danny Williams Clinton's birth. So Bill Clinton became governor of Little Rock, Arkansas between the years of 1979 and 1981 and 1983 and 1992. So the timeline of events regarding Danny Williams / Clinton. So around March/April 1985, his mother, Bobby Ann Williams, was impregnated, possibly while Bill Clinton was out jogging. Astrology via Bill Clinton's chart. So looking at Bill Clinton's chart, on November 10th, 1985, his progressed Saturn in the 10th house in the sign of Leo made a sextile to his natal Mars from the first house in the first house in the sign Scorpio. So moving on. So also a day later, on November 11th, 1985, Bill Clinton's progressed Mars from the first house in the sign of Scorpio made a square to his natal Saturn, which resides in the 10th house in the sign of Leo. So the astrological meaning, it means that it's a major karmic, very rare astrological aspect, and it's angering, infuriating, and violent Mars, depressing, emotional block / loss and restriction Saturn in regards to image, first house, status and career, 10th house. Mars in the sign of Scorpio, hidden dark sexual secrets, and Saturn in Leo, pride, ego, kingship. Could this astrology have alluded to the birth of a mixed race child in a very racist state by someone whose life was mostly influenced by voters of that said racist state? It would make sense. So moving on. So on December 5th, 1985, Bill Clinton's progressed Uranus began a retrograde. And 2 days later, on December 7th, 1985, there was the birth of Danny Williams Clinton. Now, for Bill Clinton, his progressed retrograde Uranus made a conjunction to his natal Uranus on October 11th, 2025. And see, on October 11th, 2025, the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to Venezuelan activist Maria Corina Machado instead of Donald Trump, who at the time had reportedly settled 8 wars. This astrology was shown to have happened 3 days after Hillary missed her October 9th, 2025 deposition, and 4 days before Bill Clinton's October 14th, 2025 deposition in regards to the Epstein Transparency Act and its ongoing investigations. Also, October 14th is Charlie Kirk's birthday, but not only that, it's George Floyd's birthday, and it is one day after Christopher Columbus Day, who was a slave trader. So after 41 years of the birth of Danny Williams Clinton, and during Donald Trump's presidency, and during an investigation into the reported child sex predator Jeffrey Epstein, and also while Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are going through the same astrology as the Monica Lewinsky scandal, plus Bill Clinton's impeachment, 1998 plus 28 years, or Saturn return, equals 2026. This aspect happened inside of Bill Clinton's chart. Also, on November 6th, 2025, Danny Williams / Clinton released his book titled The Forgotten Son, The World Made Me Do It, Danny Lee Williams. The same astrology for the beginning of Bill Clinton's 1998 impeachment happened on November 13th, 2025. The impeachment proceedings began on December 19th, 1998, where his progressed moon made it quincunx to his progressed ascendant. The same astrology as the January 7th, 1999 trial of Bill Clinton happens on June 13th, 2026, which is one day before Donald Trump's birthday. And so this astrology ends in regards to the astrology that was similar to Bill Clinton's impeachment happens on July 20th, 2026, with the shocking event seemingly is to happen around August 9th, 2026. And I said a sign astrologer, Ice Blues 3, the god of astrology. So let me stop. So let me go back or whatever. So let me get to this Cardi B list or this Candace Owen / Cardi B list or whatever. So let me pause for a second to catch my breath or whatever. It's a lot. Pause. Okay, so I got here. So here's my full Cardi B / Joe Biden Santa Claus wish list. Candace Owens. Democrats never can say that you never did anything for a black person. Epic. Like this shit's gonna happen. This man don't probably know who the fuck I am. But then again, he probably saw maybe I wasn't like going crazy in this parking lot and seeing a man who resembled Donald Trump. Anyways, that's a whole other video too. Like, anyway, so this list or whatever. So here's my full Cardi B / Joe Biden interview style wish list. I'm still shocked that Joe Biden did the interview right after Cardi released her hit single WAP or Wet Ass Pussy. I love Cardi B's personality. I like a few of her songs. A few. So don't kill me, Cardi B, and don't kill me, K. Michelle. So moving on. So Candace Owens said that Cardi treated failed President Joe Biden like he was Santa Claus. So why not test this out and see where it goes? But I want this before Christmas and this past Christmas, and this man ain't stunned my ass. Anyway, so another thing, especially after I voted Democrat for Chad Cheek Martin. Anyway, so another thing, God does have a sense of humor. The director of Home Alone 2, his name is Christopher Columbus, and apparently wanted to remove your 7-second clip from the movie. Wouldn't it be funny if the Danny Williams Clinton allegation is true? Keep in mind that Chris Columbus, via history, was a slave trader. But moving on. I can only assume that currently Chris Columbus is a Democrat. His birth name basically says all there's needed to say about him, in my opinion. Democrats just doing what Democrats do best. Anyway, my list. Jennifer Boozer's shop, Canada back open by any means necessary. And marijuana rescheduled. Representative Andy Witt of Alabama questioned in regards to him stating that he wanted to shut down shops that heavily invested in the 2018 Farm Bill. In several interviews, he is the new Roy Moore of Alabama, in my opinion, and Tommy Tuberville is doing the same thing that Jeff Sessions did in your first term. Think about it. Anyway, look into the Alabama casino situation as well, but that is no longer important to me due to the possible increase in crime associated with casinos. But it would be nice to have the Powerball and Mega Millions in Alabama instead of having to drive to Georgia. But if Chad Cheek Martin could get casinos out of Alabama, I would like that for the people to get some income coming into Alabama and more jobs that actually casinos I think produce a lot of high paying jobs, but maybe that's my opinion. Anyway, so moving on. So now to piss off anyone who loves number 13, Taylor Swift, I love your music too. Don't come after me. I love your music. This is just I said this when James Comey was talking, saying some weird stuff. So, but I love Taylor Swift's music. So don't kill me though. Don't come after me. Anyway, so moving on. So a 13-ounce solid gold medal, $13 million, no strings attached, Donald Trump. Just $13 million a check, and it's a little extra money so I can get an LLC set up first before I get that money or whatever. So anyway, so a Starlink plus 13 years of free service. 13 years of free Verizon wireless cellular service, 13 years of free Apple and Samsung yearly device upgrades, and I get to keep the devices. I'm talking about computers, phones, watches, tablets, laptops, all other kinds of accessories too. I want them all. I want to be doing like these other YouTubers be doing, and they put doggone. Yes, and I got a new Apple product. Whatever. I want to do product reviews or whatever of the new Apple products and the new Samsung products or whatever. And I want to keep the devices too. Now I have to send those back. Unlike the other people, whatever, they got to send it back. I want to keep mine. All of them, the highest end model with the highest amount of storage and the highest amount of RAM and the highest end model and the best screens too. So let me move on. So a blue check mark from evil Elon Musk. It's funny. I wrote this all the way back on the 7th of September 2025. This is 3 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I predicted all this stuff way before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And so keep in mind, my Twitter account got suspended all the way back on April the 7th, 2026. And I said, evil Elon Musk. Give me a blue check mark, evil Elon Musk. A free one. Because I'm broke. I have 13 cents in my name right now. 13 cents. So a blue check mark from evil Elon Musk. A Cybertruck fully loaded for my troubles. Fully loaded. The newest model. A Toyota Prius Prime or the newest model, the 2026 model. A G392, the newest model, in white with gold accents. Okay, so I said for the rest of these devices, the highest end model with the highest amount of storage and RAM, the black model with the largest screen size. So a Mac Studio Pro Max with 4 XDR screens plus the best stand and accessories. A MacBook Pro Max or the newest model, whatever. The iPad, the iPhone, the Samsung phone, the Samsung tablet. I'm gonna add some more stuff. The highest end Apple Watch or whatever. The highest end Samsung watches, whatever. A Geisley sponsorship, a Geisley rifle sponsorship with the 5.56 rifle and a 308 rifle, and a Glock sponsorship, the 43X Core and the Glock 17 Core or whatever. I also want the SIG 211 GTO with the SIG Romeo X, I believe, and I want the SIG 211 GT42 with the Romeo X red dot and the GT5 with the SIG Romeo X dot red dot or whatever. I want all three models. And it's funny if Donald Trump actually did this shit, he'll be the first president in the U.S. history to give a black man a rifle and a pistol during war times. I don't think any other president has ever given a black man a rifle, unless like it was part of it was like wartime or whatever. Anyway, Civil War time. So anyway, so moving on. So a federal sponsorship, ammo, lots and lots of ammo. We're dealing with the Clintons here. A Mountain House freeze dried food sponsorship, whatever. A truckload of their products. A Danganronpa anime sponsorship. A Case Closed / Detective Conan anime sponsorship. A Scooby Doo sponsorship. A Hong Kong Phooey sponsorship. And I also want DC Douglas to voice his iconic character in whatever newest Resident Evil game. And if you don't know, DC Douglas he voiced Albert Wesker inside of Resident Evil. I want him to voice his iconic character, if it's possible. Oh yeah, and I also want what's this guy's name? Let me pause for a second. Okay, so I'm back. So I wonder if Capcom ever makes a movie. I want this guy to be if I become famous or whatever. I want this guy to play Wesker, like in a new live action movie or whatever. Cody Rhodes. I saw him on Hot Wings or whatever. You cannot tell me this man is not Wesker. This is Wesker. So I want DC Douglas to voice Wesker. And I want this guy right here, Cody Rhodes. I don't even know anything about him. I just know his face. That is Wesker. That is Wesker. You can't tell me anything else. So for him inside of a live action movie or whatever to play Wesker. Can you see him inside that? If you turn the jacket black and put him has the sunglasses on and keep that same platinum blonde hair. Anyway. That's just yeah. This is not gonna happen. Anyway, so moving on. So and I also want a Trigicon sponsorship too. So I want a Trigicon VCOG SEO. And I said a 5.56 and a 308, right? What a long range scope. I don't know for the 308 rifle. Anyway, moving on. So but a Trigicon sponsorship too. So moving on. So I also want for Sean Ryan to interview Lindsey Graham. I hate Lindsey Graham, but I bet Sean Ryan hates him more than I do. But maybe I'm wrong. Sean Ryan did interview Gavin Newsom, and I think he might owe Donald Trump like a favor. Just who knows? Like it may come out that he was wrong about Donald Trump and Epstein, and so yeah, just being facetious. Anyway, so moving on. So also one for Carolyn Leavitt and Kayleigh McEnany, both press secretaries, and Tucker Carlson to review and fact check the entire Sean Ryan / Gavin Newsom interview. They'll be epic. And you're gonna need all three of them to get through Gavin Newsom's bullshit. Anyway, I think that's the gist of it, right? I also would like for an executive order to be signed to restore some of the Tuskegee historical monuments, and to add some funds to the schools of Macon County, Alabama, so that kids can have some kind of fun and educational field trip in regards to maybe Black history. So that'll be interesting. I'm not gonna go through that other list or whatever. So let's see here. It's funny though that Candace Owens. I made this list, and Candace Owens might be the trigger for all this other Epstein shit just to come out the fucking pipe. So and then so I made this list in reference to Candace Owens, and this list was made on September the 7th, 2025 at 11:21 a.m. So excuse the phone, it has a cracked screen or whatever, but it is what it is. So the timestamp is right here, I think, right here. So, sign astrologer, Ice Blue 3, the god of astrology. Anyway, I think it's gonna be it for me. I've been repeating this stuff over and over and over and over and over again. We'll see how things play out in the future. Let me pause for a second to see if there's anything else I need to add to this video. So let me pause because I know I'm running storage very, very soon. So let me pause. But you cannot tell me that this is not Wesker. You cannot tell me this is not Wesker. From Resident Evil. He has the face. Let me go back. I'm gonna work with two broken phones here, so let me just see if I can. Jesus. Is there anything else I need to add to this video? I already gave you astrology. Oh, I said I want to end like this. Let me pause a second. I said I want to end like this, saying my quote, because this is crazy. I said, let the history books / devices always and forever say, 1 year and 3 days after Donald Trump should have died by assassination, he came back, and on the third day, like Jesus, pissed in the face of his enemies, called it rain, and then he destroyed them. And then he lived happily ever after. The end. P.S. I did say biblical on July the 20th, 2025, before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And Charlie Kirk was a preacher. And people celebrate the death of a preacher. How godless is that? But, I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I've said a lot of messed up stuff and did some stuff too, but still. Anyway, so I said sign astrologer, Ice Blue 3, the god of astrology. And I got the judgment card right here. This phone is cracked the hell. And this post was made all the way back on November the 1st, 2025. However, the original was made on July the 20th, 2025. So let me pause a second to pull that up real quick. Okay, so I'm back. So here it is right here. I showed it to Donald Trump. Whatever. I ain't gonna say anything else. I'm burnt the fuck out and I'm tired. Biblical, I ended with biblical right there, towards the end, right about here. And the timestamp is right here. I posted on the 20th of July. This phone is cracked to hell. So anyway, so I said I was gonna end the video singing a song. So how'd it go now? Pause. I'm back. So the song is by Digital Daggers, called "The Devil Within." I'm just gonna sing like one little line. You'll never knew what hit you. Da 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 da. Won't see me closing in. I'm gonna make you suffer this hell you put me in. I'm underneath your skin, the devil within. You'll never knew what hit you. I tried to be the lover to your nightmare. Look what you made of me. Look what you made of me. Now I'm the heavy burden that you can't bear. Look what you made of me. Look what you made of me. I'll make you see. The best astrologer inside of the world. Right here. Bye.